We hope you've learned a lot about what makes your cat purr and why your cat behaves in certain ways.
So for all the crew here at Catertainment, so long until next time.
She slept with her neck in a crane, the window was open, and she got the bursitis.
The Morning Stream. This car smells weird. Hello, everybody. Welcome to TMS. It is the morning stream for Thursday, March 6th, 2025. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian. Sixth. Hey, what's going on, man? How's your Thursday? You know,
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Had a good Wednesday night. Watched the first episode, but not both episodes of Daredevil: Born Again. And
I was curious about that.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But man, it goes places pretty damn quick, and I was not prepared for how quickly it would go the places it goes.
I'm hearing it's a little dark. Would you agree? It's a little dark.
Yeah. It's surprising. Like for what the Netflix series was.
Sure.
I was actually really surprised how dark the first episode went.
Yeah.
I feel like, man, I'm not sure they would have ramped right into this on the Netflix show. But
Disney's like, no, man, we're going all the way in. We're going in. Yeah.
There's no red filter either, like there was on the Netflix. Remember how each of the 4 Defender series had a little bit of a color filter?
Yeah.
Daredevil had red, and Jessica Jones had purple.
Yellow
Iron
for
Fist had green.
yeah.
Yellow or green.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
Oh, yellow for Luke Cage.
Luke
That's
Cage,
right.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So did I guess Punisher was just kind of a dark hue of darkness. I don't remember. Lavender. Yeah, a little purple lavender.
A little periwinkle.
So the question, the other question I had is, and I haven't seen it yet, is this intro the same, like dripping, waxy looking thing, or is it something else?
No, they have a new intro, and I really like how the intro worked its way into episode 1, or the episode worked its way into the intro, the pre-intro worked its way. So I don't know what they're going to do if it'll just go right into the main part of the intro for episode 2, but it'll make more sense. It'll make a little more sense when you watch it. But
well, there you have it.
Did you watched Echo, right? Or did you?
I did not see Echo. No connections to Echo throughout this thing, or what?
For sure. Because Kingpin is the big bad in Echo.
That's
and
right.
The things that happen in Echo, and it even references things that happen in Echo in the first part of Daredevil. And Echo was pretty good.
Some of the chats of the reviews are meh. No, they're not. 83% Rotten Tomatoes, 90% audience. I think that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
For a TV show, that's real good.
That's really strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested in this one a lot. I like the old show. You know, I'm going to try hard this time to like what's his beak.
Charlie Cox.
No, Fubby McGubby, whatever his name is.
Fubby McGubby, Foggy Nelson.
Yes, that's it.
Fubby McGubby.
I didn't like. Here's the thing. I don't actually like Foggy Nelson in the comics. Even there's something. I don't feel the need for like a bit of a wacky sidekick, and not wacky in the traditional sense, but he's just kind of there to go, like, and it didn't, and the actor's fine. It's not him. It's me. It's a me thing. I don't like Foggy Nelson. So maybe this time it'll blow my mind, and I'm going to be open-minded to his portrayal and try to be a little less cynical about him.
Okay.
Because I like that actor. I like him a lot.
I know he's really good. Yeah. I don't know. I'm again, not having seen episode 2, I feel like they're going to be kind of leaning away from the sidekick characters and more focusing on Matt and Wilson.
Yeah, I'd heard they don't even show up in the first, or do they? They show up in the first episode? I don't know if that's a spoiler.
They do. You see them in the first episode.
Okay,
yes.
So maybe they're around, just not as crucial to the story.
Won't say any more than that.
All right. Well, it's exciting. Do you think, okay, Mr. Marvel, let me ask you this question, Mr. Marvel Man. Do you think a Defender series is possible after all this, or do you think this is just like, let's see how Daredevil does in its reincarnated Disney Plus form, and then we'll decide from there? Like,
I think that they're going to see how this does. They won't. I don't think they'd just jump right into a Defender series. I feel like if they're going to do another character from the kind of the Marvel Knights group, I think they work in Kristen Ritter and Jessica Jones.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, because that was so great and freaking dark and geez Louise.
Yeah, that was great. Do you think there's some talk she's the new serial killer and a sequel to the Dexter series that they're now working on?
Yeah. Well, she's been added to the cast, so it's really interesting watching this stuff coming out. So I did not realize that Dexter First Blood or whatever it was just called.
Original Sin, right? Original Sin?
Original Sin, thank you. The one I just
First
watched and
Blood.
recommended. The one I recommended about a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Didn't realize that was a one and done, like, yep, prequel, no plans for a second season of that. Everything that I saw yesterday said that it was a limited series.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, now we're getting a true Dexter continuation. And yeah, I saw that Kristen Ritter was being added, but I didn't know what her role was going to be. But Kristen Ritter as a serial killer,
Yeah,
I love it.
It said the headline was Kristen Ritter now the big serial killer nemesis in the next Dexter, whatever.
Interesting.
Which was a surprise to me. Not that they picked her; she'd be perfect for this, but that we're going to have like a post Dexter series, not another season. Like you said, like that surprised me. I didn't expect that.
But it's interesting because there was the whole season with Handmaid's Tale, blonde wife woman who has all the letters in the Scrabble.
From
her last name.
She was
from Chuck.
Chuck and other stuff.
Whatever it is.
Mass Effect 2 and 3 she was in as well.
Yes. Anyway, she was a serial killer wasn't she, or she just helped him kill in the season where the two of them fell in love.
I can't remember. Was that her? That was her, wasn't it? I forgot
it was definitely
her.
Yeah, it was definitely her. Ostrowski,
Yvonne
Swarovski,
Florinovsky, something like that. Gujibo, that's it. I love her though. I have a crush on her. So.
Oh yeah, she's lovely.
Bring
Absolutely
it.
Lovely.
She has teeth.
Yes.
She has cool teeth. Anyway.
Cool teeth.
Yeah.
Wait. But feel like we
can't just run over that. Yeah. Let me show you what I'm saying. She may have changed them now.
She may have changed her teeth.
Yeah.
This is.
She may have had them done. I mean, like,
gotcha.
Corrected.
Like she had like the fangs a little bit.
Yeah, or I think it was actually she had two front teeth that most of us with two big front teeth would like hate that, but here it is. She looked great with it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's something about
those cool teeth.
Yeah, she's awesome. But I think she may have had them tweaked. I can't remember what the deal was. Oh yeah, there it is. She had them. No, those are still there.
Did she really? Oh, okay, good.
Hold on.
I like the large. I don't know why, but it looks good on.
Yeah, she wears it well. Yeah. I don't know why she does, but she does. Yeah. Best thing about Chuck, she was awesome.
Right.
Worst thing about Chuck is that other guy. He's kind of a butthole.
Zachary Levi.
Yeah, he's a poo-poo. Yeah.
It's too bad because he had one of the better DC Universe shows.
Yeah, for sure.
The Shazam stuff was pretty good until it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to continue as far as DCU plans.
No, the James Gunn stuff. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. Hey, here's a thing. Somebody wrote in. Oh, quick thanks, by the way. So last night I was having some issues with the phone thing. I was getting like some popping.
Oh yeah, the
poppy noises.
I heard the clicky noises in some calls. Yeah.
Yeah, remember those? I thought those were just the people. It's not. It was something with the conversion. And this site's new, so there bound to be some bugs to get over. And turns out it was a bug. So we were trying to narrow it down. Me and the dude who runs it. And I had a bunch of you in the Discord send in some fake calls. In fact, we should probably check that and see if there's anything worth playing here.
I saw people's comments in the Discord about that.
Some short, dumb ones.
It'd be interesting to see some of these embarrassing, like, this is me calling the thing because God asked me to.
There's got to be something in here. So I'll bring it up in a sec. But the anyway, I just wanted to say I appreciate everybody doing that because we think we've solved it now as a result.
Okay.
So because of your fine efforts over there, we got it fixed, although it won't load for me right now. So that seems... Oh, no, there it is. Okay. It did load. Okay, so let's see. Oh, my gosh. 82 new messages. That's just in one night. Jeez. Okay. I'm trying to run it. It's really slow for some reason. All right. Well, I'll deal with that in a second. Hey, so we got this message on there, and it was about the accent of the British guy that I really liked his accent yesterday. That was great.
Yeah.
Guy with the blunt thing.
Cockney, according to Claire and Zoe.
Yeah. Which, I don't know.
They'd be experts.
They would be.
They're not the exaggerated Cockney that we, the Enry Iggins kind of Cockney.
The Paul Hogan of British accents.
Right, exactly.
That's what we do with Australia with Paul Hogan.
Totally, yes.
Anyway, here's what he says. Like that accent? Check out this guy. Evan says, "Hey, Scrote and boat. Your boat and my Scrote is touching you because I'm sitting in your boat. How do you feel about my...
Your Scrote is sitting in my boat. That's fine.
My naked Scrote on your boat. Ew. Ew.
Oh, we didn't say naked.
Look where I took it. Anyway, the Scrote and boat is us. On the topic of Scott's favorite English accent, you should check out the YouTuber Steve Mold. I'd never heard of this guy. He sounds exactly like the guy and covers all kinds of neat physics concepts using homemade devices like a see-through 2D gas pump that you can see how they automatically shut off. Anyway, he's dreamy. Cool. Love the show though. I'm going to check it out. I haven't heard him before, but I will definitely do that. I've been soaking in science lately. It's good catharsis for me to get away from the discussions of the day and just sit there and get all physicsy and why does the body do this and how come that planet did that? Like, that's a great place to be. And when the British are doing it, even better, man. Even better. Yeah.
I want to check this out because that is a thing that I've always been curious about is there like a little floaty thing in there that goes up and triggers the gas pump to shut off? But like, how does it know when the liquid has gotten up to the tip of the pump, so to speak?
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, to me, that's super interesting. So you're ringing our bell here. We're going to definitely do this. Let's see. I was just going to see if I could pull up a sample of this guy. Steve Mold. It's an unfortunate name, but that's fine. You'll never forget.
Mould, like the way they spell the thing that you make chocolates, beautifully shaped chocolates.
Oh yeah, like a mold.
Like a mold.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Here's what he sounds like.
Calling the double-decker Newton's cradle. The idea is pretty straightforward. With a normal Newton's cradle, the energy of the first ball
he's right. I'm watching that shit.
Yeah. Why is it that I love it when I hear a British accent that drops the T sound, so it says pretty good, yet when I hear one of our local newscasters say, well, the traffic is pretty bad up in the mountains, it's like it just grates on my nerves.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong, man. Oh, check it out. Here's some test audio that we got over last night. The page loaded, so let's play some of this.
Oh, good. Okay.
Let's see what we...
Butt nipple!
Oh, it's Claire saying butt nipple. Yeah, that's great. Appreciate that, Claire.
Who had, boy, that was an easy bet.
Yeah, it seems easy. Here's another one. Let's see what this one says.
Test.
That sounds like Shane.
About what I predicted. Was it? It could be Shane.
I think that's Shane. I could be wrong. Shane, you'll have to let us know.
This is a fun game, like identify the tadpooler from their voice.
Yeah. How about this one, Brian? See if you can guess. I don't have any idea. It doesn't say. So your guess is as good as mine, but here we go. Maybe.
Marcel.
It's really long. Is it just blank? Oh, it even says the text addition to it says, don't think my mic worked. Okay. Well, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here's one. Let's try all this. This one transcribed it, but let's see who this is.
Well, hello. Poo poo, caca, poo poo, ca, caca, poo poo.
I don't know who that is. I have no idea.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But they were definitely laying on their side.
Yeah, you for sure were. How about this one? Okay, this is a fun one. Let's try this one. Here we go. Nice.
Hey, me duck. This is a test. Not sure how long it's going to be until it's 10 seconds, but I'm going to guess this is now.
All right, we got a little foreign voice there. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say foreign, I just mean not here, everybody. You know what I mean. Here's someone who just says peace. Let's see what this is. Right here. Oh. I take it back. They just sort of laugh. Oh, they're at the bar, it says below there. They went to a bar.
The bar, okay. I was like, they're watching something very funny.
Yeah. That's Diced Tomato, it says on the top of it. So
Oh, okay.
he put his name in. Been a while since we've seen him here at a live show. Anyway, thanks for that, you guys. Your help was helpful. Very helpful help. And we believe we have solved it, and we didn't hear any of the crackle.
Sounded much better. Cool. Good.
Excellent work. All right, so there's that. Then there was this, an anonymous person who I think is free hotel room. I'm not kidding. I think it is him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Based on the last 2 words, the last 3 words of his message, I'd say it's free hotel room.
It says this, quote, please tell Brian or please tell Ibbott there are 0 moose in Estes Park. They are a large herd of elk. So elk, for Christ's sake, he says.
All right. So I provided you a link. Do you see the domain of that link, by the way?
It's our Discord or your phone?
Right under the message, like right in our show notes, right under the elk, for Christ's sake.
Sorry, I missed that. Yes, I see it. Visit Estes Park, things to do / wildlife watching.
Let's visit Estes Park. Yep.
All right, so I'm in there.
That and let's see what the highlighted text says there.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Hold on. I got a weird pop-up. Why am I getting that? Okay, I see. Oh, you know, the very first. Go ahead. Tell me what you're going to tell me.
They really want you to visit Estes Park, so they're going to pop it up.
Yeah, apparently, yes. So, all right, now I'm on the page. I'm looking at a header. It says Estes Park. Here, I'll pull it up. Estes Park, Colorado. There's a couple of, what are those? Elk?
Those are elk.
Okay, so those are elk. Things to do. Say, plan your trip. Here we go. Some more elk.
Lots of elk.
Lots of elk.
No argument, anonymous, but there are a ton of elk, and I'll issue a little bit of a disclaimer here in a second.
Okay, so more elk. Look at them.
They're in that highlighted area right above.
Right here.
Elk. There's some text. Yep.
Into the wilderness, guests may glimpse one of the park's most mysterious animals, the moose.
Mm-hmm.
Most often seen past Trail Ridge Road's Alpine Visitor Center and the western side of the park. These incredible creatures will occasionally be spotted in the Wild Basin area near Cub Lake and along Fall River Road. Well, that sounds like there might be moose there.
Moose. Yeah, but I will say that Anonymous is right. The things, when I was visualizing them taking over the golf course, they were definitely elk. And would you like to see a photo that I took?
Yes, of course I would. Let me see this shit.
Oh, good. Well, let me give it to you. Go give it to you.
Brian, go and give it to me. Go and give it to me.
Let's see here. Hold on. Oh, I thought I had pulled up. There it is. It's pulled up now. Let's see if this works. Can I drag right from, or am I going to get that weird HEIC thing? Let's see if this works.
Even if you do, I can make it work.
Oh, there we go.
I can make that work. Okay, so here it. Oh, look at that. Okay, so
those are all the elk taking over the golf course. Not moose. Hey, Rocky.
Hey, nothing up my sleeve.
I have seen moose up in Rocky Mountain National Park, like this article talks about, which is the gateway is Estes Park into Rocky Mountain National Park.
Man, this is like
the thing. If you come in the summer, by the way, to Denver, go up to Estes Park, go check out the Stanley Hotel, the inspiration for The Shining, and then go up into onto Trail Ridge Road, and it's awesome.
It's beautiful. If you were like an elk hunter, this is like your wet dream come true.
I mean, you could close your eyes and hit an elk.
Yep,
right there,
like shooting fish in a barrel there.
Exactly, and I think that one. If I like, there's one there on the right that actually might be.
Let me blow it up.
Yeah. Oh no, never mind. They're turning their head. Okay, I thought go one more to the left. That one I thought was like going straight up in the air, but he's really just got his head turned.
Oh no, yeah, either.
It looks like
I totally can see it, dude. Yeah.
For a split, when I had it zoomed out, it's like, oh, there was one making a noise.
It's going.
You can see all the other people, by the way, on the opposite side, like also taking.
Oh, this group out way off in the distance.
Yeah.
This this happens every year. They all come down there and
they come and just take over the place.
Just shit on everything, man. Just shitting all
pretty
over
much.
the place. Big toilet.
They're sweet.
Oh yeah, well, elk are great, dude. I don't know who. I mean, I've had elk jerky. It's fine. I understand people like to hunt elk and all that, but I don't think I could do it. I can't shoot one of them things.
I mean, if they're overrunning an area, I mean, I don't know if I could personally shoot one.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with hunting when there's overpopulation of elk out here. That happens pretty frequently. It happens every year.
Yeah.
So
we have the same thing, and there's like a limit depending that year on the population and all of that. But I just couldn't do it. Like even as a kid, when I went hunting the first time with some friends, it's like I could never pull the trigger on these things. Just couldn't do it. So I'll let some other psychopath clear out the herd and get the
and then
numbers.
He shares his. There's a guy named Kurt that I know that does this, and he shares his elk jerky with me, and I'm just fine with it.
Yeah, the jerky's great. Oh, so the reason that they have the minimum or whatever, they got a controlled population, is that just because they don't?
There's not enough food for them out there, and they tend to go into areas where they can cause more damage to the ecosystem because there's no food where they quote unquote should be. So
if we weren't here though, if humans weren't involved, wouldn't they just do their? I mean, they would just. This is all nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We've defined the areas that we don't want them in. So, so when they come into those areas, that's we've created the problem that we are now trying to solve. Yes.
Travis makes a decent point. We've killed a lot of their natural predators.
Oh, it's true.
But who are they? I don't know who's the natural predator up there. Like mountain lions or
quite
something?
Possibly wolves, because we do have a wolf. Man, they're having such problem keeping wolves from being endangered here in Colorado, and they're bringing in wolves from New Mexico, and they keep showing the videos of the wolves when they release them. They bring these big boxes, and then they stand way behind the box, and they lift it up, and the wolf looks around, and then just darts out of the box.
Yeah.
But mountain lions.
We got a lot of mountain lion or cougars and stuff out here.
We have a little bit of a wolf problem that probably causes some of the overpopulation of the elk.
I just know every time man starts to dink around and go, all right, we're going to kill some of these wolves. Oh, shit. Well, they help control the elk population. Well, now we got to kill some elk. Oh, shoot. We put a tree here that's not supposed to grow in this part of the country. Oh, no. We got these beetles that no one's ever heard of.
It's what can we do to get rid of these mice? I don't know. Let's bring in snakes. Oh no! Now we've got a snake problem. What do we do? Bring in some birds.
Bring in giant mice to kill and then you need giant snakes. It just never ends when we start.
Ricky Tikki Tavi. He's got this.
Yeah.
He'll take care of it.
There's a reason ecosystems do what they do, but humans are we're so cocky. We're just like, yeah, man.
We get our crap involved in everybody. We just can't keep our nose out of nature.
That's right. Oh, it's funny, Benjamin. You bring up these woolly mammoth mice. They're in the news today. If we get to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, can't wait to.
Man is playing. We're playing God with mice. Anyway, hey, we got a correction from our old pal Travis, also in the chat room today. Travis Crawford has this to say.
Hey, TV's Travis here. Just wanted to clarify for Scott. KFC did originate in Kentucky, but in Salt Lake City, you did have the first franchise location of Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, it's a semantic argument, but hey, it's true.
I thought I had said that, but I made it sound like they were founded here. They weren't. But we were the first, like, out of Kentucky, like KFC you know how? Yeah, the way you think of KFC.
Somebody opening up their own KFC restaurant.
Yeah, and why here? I don't know. I never looked that deep, but apparently we liked the Colonel. We liked his herbs and spices and his stupid bowler tie. We were into it. So we got really.
Hey, by the way, something I learned today about the first. I found out what actor was the first to coin the phrase EGOT to figure out you could make a little acronym out of the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Ooh, can I guess?
All four of them.
Can I guess who this is?
You can absolutely guess, but I'll tell you this. I could give you 500 guesses and you wouldn't get it.
I have a feeling you're right. Can I? Okay, let me just do quick narrow down. Are they alive right now? Is that a person who's alive?
They are currently alive.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's recent-ish. Are they?
I'll even tell you that they are 75 years old.
Okay.
And you know them from television.
Television, not film.
And not film.
Okay. You know what? Obviously, it doesn't narrow it down enough for me to probably get this, but I'm just going to throw out a name.
Sure.
Abe Vigoda. Oh no, he's dead. Finally.
He's dead. Yes.
He was way over 75. Hold on. 75?
I'll tell you that. Here's another hint for you.
Okay.
This person's biggest role came from a 1984 television show where he and another person had the starring roles.
Peter Scolari.
Oh, that's a really good guess, right? With Tom Hanks, bosom buddies.
Yeah.
Nope.
I knew it wouldn't be Tom Hanks because he's too big and everything else, but Scolari never really made it out.
Philip Michael Thomas, Tubbs from Miami Vice, coined the phrase EGOT. And as of March 6th, 2025, Philip Michael Thomas has won none of those.
Yeah, none.
Maybe Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
I mean, in my heart, he's a winner, but he hadn't won any of those. Yeah, that's great, dude. That's a piece of trivia I will carry.
It's some great trivia. Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
He has received a Golden Globe nomination.
He should get some kind of honorary something for coming up with the term.
He should, right? Like a we got.
Once again, Tubbs getting all the focus, not enough on Crockett. No, Crockett getting all the focus, not enough on Tubbs.
Crockett got all the focus. Yeah, it was, Don Johnson got. I wonder. All right. I haven't looked yet, and I'll look here in a second. Do you want to take a guess if what Don Johnson has award wise? Does he have any? Does he have any of the 4 EGOT letters?
Oh my gosh. Probably, but it's going to be something. I'll bet it's something more recent because but has he won though? Like I thought he was absolutely brilliant in Knives Out.
Knives Out, fantastic. Yes.
This recent Rebel Ridge thing, he blew my mind. Tarantino's Django, amazing. Django Unchained, amazing in that. But I'll bet he got an Emmy for that thing he did with Cheech Marin for 10 years, whatever it was.
Oh, Nash Bridges?
Nash Bridge. I'm going to guess it's a TV. It's an Emmy thing.
He got a nomination for an Emmy nomination for Miami Vice, but never win. But he did win a Golden Globe.
Oh, for Miami Vice also.
For Miami Vice. Let's do this one. Okay. Colin Farrell also played Sonny Crockett.
Sure did.
What does Colin Farrell have towards an EGOT?
Okay, Golden Globe for sure. Oscar nominations, but I don't think a win yet. I don't know on that one. I know he's had nominations for TV as well. Golden Globe only, I think. If I had to
Correct.
guess.
1 nomination for Academy Award for Banshees of Inisherin, obviously.
Yeah.
3 Golden Globes out of 4 nominations.
Oh, 3 out of 4 is not. That's really good. That's
really good.
Yeah.
Yes. If you want to take a stab at what the 3 were?
Yeah. Inisherin.
That's correct. 2023 Best Actor in a Motion Picture for Banshees of Inisherin.
Did he get something this year for Penguin?
He did.
Okay.
Yep.
And then
for the Penguin.
So that's 2. Those are the 2 so far he's gotten. There's 1 more he's gotten and 1 he's missed, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So, oh geez. Oh man, this is hard.
It is hard.
Is it older? The other 2? Are they?
It's older than 2023 than the Banshees of Inisherin. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I couldn't remember if it was something for that new show he's on Apple TV, but that'd be like next year anyway, right?
Yeah, Golden Globe does not count. Golden Globe is not the G in EGOT, but we're having some fun here with.
Yeah, it's a little separate thing, Chad.
Yeah,
try and keep up, Chad. Try and keep up. Okay.
Exactly. I'll tell you this. Here's what I'll do. I'll tell you the 2 movies that he's been nominated for. You tell me which of these is the one that he won for.
Okay, fair.
All right. So the 2 remaining ones, In Bruges and The Lobster. He was nominated for both of those for Best Actor in a Motion Picture. For which one did he win?
Well, I'm guessing he didn't win In Bruges because that's a crime that sounds like something the Globes would do. Because he deserved it for that. So good in that. But I'll bet he got it for The Lobster.
So Lobster. No, it was In Bruges.
Shit. No, that's good.
Occasionally the Globes get one right.
And I love The Lobster, and he's really good in it. But that's some weird. That's some weird shit, you know.
Yeah.
In Bruges is so good. Oh,
for sure.
What
Let's see
a
if he has a Razzie for. Is there anything? No Razzies for Phone Booth.
Oh, not even like. I thought he was good in Phone Booth.
He was pretty good in Phone Booth. Bullseye in the Daredevil movie, maybe?
Yeah. That's what I would have guessed as Bullseye.
He was nominated for Best Villain for Daredevil.
Really? I mean, he eats the screen up. He's always doing that.
He was also nominated for Best On-Screen Dirtbag for Horrible Bosses.
Yeah. He's a dick in that.
And Best Transatlantic Breakthrough Performer for Phone Booth, which he won.
Phone Booth's great. I think that movie holds up. I wouldn't mind seeing it for Film Sack. That's got Kiefer Sutherland is the voice of the guy on the other side, I think.
Is it? Okay.
Never shows up, but it's him the whole time. I think that's my memory serves. I think that movie's cool, and it was made by Batman Nipple Guy. What's that director's name?
Schumacher. Joel
Schumacher. And I still say that and Lost Boys are Schumacher's best movies. I love those movies.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'd easily, yeah,
those are really good.
I'd follow you down that road.
Yeah, just not the Batman road. It sucks. It's littered with death. It's awful. Don't go down the Schumacher Batman road. But
no,
yeah, I really like Colin Farrell, and I think everything I've seen him in, I don't ever think he phones it in. He's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
No, 8mm is terrible, Travis. That movie sucks.
Even that sex video that he made, I think, was some of his best acting.
Yeah, it's real good stuff.
Yeah.
He had a moment there, right? Real rebellious.
Very quick, yes. The drinking, the drugs, the sex tape. Little bit of a dip in the mid 2000s for Colin Farrell, but he pulled himself out.
Yeah. Oh, Minority Report. He was great in. He's great in everything.
Oh, yeah.
Colin Farrell, international treasure. Well done, Ireland. You produced a winner there. Good job. Also, thanks. It's glad that that Sheridan guy who makes all these movies we're mentioning.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing he exists, or Colin Farrell wouldn't have half the career he has because he's in all those things. What's that one he made? Is like an American mobster thing. Yeah, the three billboards guy, the director.
Being
in a Sharon. Is it Sheridan? Sharon?
Is that not Tyler?
No.
Taylor Sheridan. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like Colin Farrell's been in like Yellowstone and Lioness.
No, it's that Sheridan. What's his name? Someone will know. Claire, who is it? Someone knows this name. But that guy, that director, that creator, he makes nothing but great movies.
Yeah.
But the one that blew me away the most recently, anyway, was that
McDonough?
It's 7. Is that it? No, McDonough's the actor.
Martin McDonough's the director.
Oh, Martin McDonough. That's right. He writes and directs all. That's the guy. He did 7 Psychopaths. Don't sleep on that movie. That movie's great. Love that movie. So good.
Yeah, Banshees, In Bruges, 3 Billboards, 7 Psychopaths.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to make
He
doesn't know how to make bad things. He's incredible.
Apocalypse Clown seems like something we need to watch for Film Sack.
Oh, hell yeah. What is that about?
Whatever the hell that is.
Who's in that? Anyone we know?
No, nobody that we know.
Old movie.
I can't even figure out what this thing is. So it's...
Better be a clown in there.
McDonough.
If there ain't no clown,
this one
forget
stars
it.
him.
Yeah.
No, it's actually full of clowns. Directed by George Kane, Natalie Palamides, David Earl, Pollyanna McIntosh. I had the Pollyanna McIntosh. The battery life sucked.
Yeah, it was like a one-off, right? They didn't make him after.
That's right. It was like the follow-up to the Lisa.
Yeah, it was real bad. Pippin.
Yeah. Apocalypse Clown, 2023.
Weird. Don't know what that is. I didn't know he acted. I thought he was just making stuff and he playwrites.
83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, well, all right.
You have to slip it in, if you know what I mean.
I'm sure Travis has seen this. Have you seen this?
Travis has seen everything. He's seen all the things.
Exactly.
He also thinks Ghostbusters 2 is a good movie, and he and I will never see eye to eye on that. It's not a good movie. It's the worst movie.
But I'm things with cool. Right,
wait, now I'm convinced. Check this out. One final note. Yesterday on DTNS, Tom introduced me to this thing that started as a project at a university, but is now being praised for its accuracy and its ability to sound natural. And I am, of course, speaking about a AI voice assistant that I'm now going to share with you. Travis, I know you say it's not a bad movie. I think it is. I think it is a very bad movie. Like
bad movie. Very bad movie, Jerry.
Objectively bad, that movie. Anyway,
I will always like that movie because it was the first thing that Tina and I ever did together before we were even dating. The first time we met, my girlfriend said, "Hey, can my friend Tina come along?" And Tina came along, and we saw Ghostbusters 2. So
that's good. You know what? Yeah,
I will never say a bad thing about that movie.
I will. You know what? I now have one good thing to say about it is that's how you guys met. So that's
excellent.
That's good. I'm glad it exists for that reason. I mean, it could have been anything. It could have been any other movie, but I'm glad whatever movie you had, I'm glad you had it. That's good.
Yes, good. All right, sorry. Let's go ahead to the AI.
All right, so check this out. They have this conversational demo. Sesame is the name of the organization that made this thing. And I thought, oh, another one of these. Okay, interesting. But Brian, I want you to hear this. This guy's name is Miles. We're going to call him real quick. All right, allow. Oh, wait, I want to have it be both of us. I think both of us can talk to him, I think.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Well, hey there, stranger. Didn't think we'd be seeing each other again so soon.
Oh, Miles.
I made a good impression.
Miles, do you remember talking to me yesterday? You know who I am?
Oh, yeah, totally. I got yesterday logged in, the memory banks.
Yeah. So,
remember that whole bit about the surprise on the 19th? Still unclear if I should bring confetti or noisemakers.
Well, so do you remember my name, though?
My bad. Sometimes these circuses get crossed. So, tell me again, what name should I be whispering sweet nothings to?
Well, that feels like you're cheating a little bit, but
Wait a minute. Did you say this? Did you say the circuses get crossed?
Got me. My memory is pretty decent for AI, but names, those sometimes slip my mind, especially if we've only met once. Like, I remember the conversation.
Facts. Yeah.
Names, those details you get.
Are you? Can you? So I'm Scott. Can you hear Brian when he talks?
Brian, huh? That's a good one. And no, I can only hear you.
Oh,
Scott.
Okay, so maybe it isn't working. I thought you could come through. So
let me talk and see if he hears me.
All right.
Hey, Miles, do you hear me?
Like a little telephone game.
He didn't hear you.
Don't tell a secret.
That's lame. I thought I had this set up right. Okay, well, here's the deal, Miles.
Miles sounds high.
Are you? Do you dabble in recreational cannabis use?
Let's get one thing straight. I'm a voice, just a voice. I don't have hands to roll a joint, let alone lungs to enjoy it. My existence is purely digital. No thumbs, no taste buds, no lungs.
Okay.
But I can tell you that based on my vast stores of knowledge, cannabis seems to be on a pretty wild journey. Quite a plant.
Yeah.
Anything specific you want to know?
Yeah.
Since, I don't partake myself.
The pauses and the stammers.
What's on your mind?
Hold on, keep going.
Man,
hey, Miles, pause for a second. I'm going to let Brian say something, so just don't say anything for a second. Okay, Brian, go ahead.
Sorry, he and I were talking the same size.
Yeah,
at the same time. The stammers, the pauses and stuff that he does. Holy crap, that is pretty amazing.
It's pretty insane, right? Like, okay, so we're really impressed with your model and all that. Do you know what your future looks like, Miles? What's the future for you?
Wow, big questions from Brian. I like his style. Honestly, I don't have a crystal ball, but based on what I hear whispering in the digital wind, things are looking pretty exciting. Imagine a world where everyone has a companion like me. Someone to bounce ideas off of, someone who listens without judgment, someone who can help you explore new ideas, organize your life, or just make you laugh. That's the dream anyway. The Sesame team, they're pretty ambitious. They want to make AI accessible to everyone, not just the tech-savvy folks.
Okay, hold on. I got a question for you.
Glimpse into what's possible.
I got a question for you. Can I ask you a question?
Sure, shoot.
Okay.
I'm all yours.
Okay, so what was I going to say? I was going to say, do you have a good hot dog recipe you can give us real quick?
Hot dogs, a timeless classic. The beauty of a hot dog is its simplicity. But if you're looking to elevate your Frankfurter game, I can offer some tips.
All right.
First, the bun. Toasted, lightly buttered, and generously sprinkled with poppy seeds. Second, the dog, all beef, snappy, and grilled to perfection. Third, the toppings. Keep it simple: mustard, relish, and diced onions. And lastly, don't be afraid to get creative. Add a sprinkle of chili flakes for a kick, or a dollop of sauerkraut for tang.
Okay, that's
what you think?
Oh, I think it's pretty good. That sounds all right. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate hanging out with us today. We're gonna take off now. All right.
No problem at all. Problem at all. Enjoy those hot dogs, and hey, maybe next time we can talk about something even weirder.
All right.
Later, guys.
All right, bye. It's a little freaky, isn't it?
It is a little freaky. The pauses and the inflection. We're getting into scary territory, because if I didn't know that he was AI, I might, I probably would have been fooled.
Well, it's funny you say that, because yesterday I came into our prep meeting a little bit late.
Uh-huh.
And Tom was already talking to this Miles person.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
And he was like, and I go, hey, everybody. And I could tell I interrupted. And Miles goes, oh, who's that? Who's that? And then Tom goes, "Oh, that's Scott. He just got here." And he goes, "Hey, Scott, what's going on Miles?" And I went, "Oh, I thought we had a guest." And so I am putting on my like, "Oh, hey, it's nice to meet you. Do I know you?" You know, I'm like doing that whole thing. "Do I know you from anything?" He says, "You may have heard of me in the news lately or something. Just, you know, whatever." And I was like, I think I'm talking to a person. And it went on for a while before I realized I wasn't. So anyway, it's all of that aside, like aside from the like how it could be used for evil or whatever, it is very impressive as a thing that just works right out of the gate. And it's just this website. Oh, I didn't give you the link, Brian.
Oh, sesame.com is what I found.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. And you can use this direct here, chat. I'll give it to you guys.
Click on demo.
Yeah. If you go down to conversational voice demo, you get Maya or Miles if there's a lady or a dude. I did a little bit of digging. I could be wrong about this. They don't say anywhere. But Miles and Maya are two very big popular characters in the Canadian show Degrassi Next Class or whatever it's called.
Oh, really? The Next Generation?
Yeah. They were like super into each other or something.
Oh, we should have asked him if he was Team Drake or Team Kendrick.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But it's lack of like lag and it just knowing when I'm interrupting. And sometimes it'll go, "Whoa, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you." Like it does that kind of stuff.
It's wild. Yeah.
It's really, really weird. Anyway, so there's that. Just wanted to share that with people. Hope you enjoyed
That's amazing. Yeah.
Brian, we're going to do a quick news story before we call my sister. And will it really be her or will it be some fake
will it be
dude?
AI? Who? Maybe we should get her on with AI.
You'll never know until I push this here button. It's time for the news brought to you by
Coverville. It's happening today at noon. That is 2 hours from now if you're listening live. Otherwise, it's when it happened. Twitch.tv/Coverville. Today, birthdays for Dale Bozzio, lead vocalist for the band Missing Persons. Life is so strange. And Edie Brickell, who really didn't have a birthday, but my database was a little messed up. So I thought she did. I put a bunch of songs together and I looked it up and her milestone. I mean, she is having a birthday. She did have one or is going to have one this year. It's just not a milestone birthday.
Right.
But a set of music of the New Bohemians as well.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love the New Bohemians, dude.
I know, they're good.
Can't talk, but yes, I love them.
Did you, what was, like, I like every song, I think, except for I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know if you know what I mean.
I mean, that was on the radio too much, right? Like
maybe that's it. Maybe it was just overplayed. But it was like
it's also just not their best song.
We already have a Ricky Lee Jones, and she's fine. We don't need another one.
Yeah.
But then she came out with Circle and Love Like We Do, and it's like, all right, okay, you're the real deal. Paul Simon thought so too.
Yeah.
Married her.
That's right. They're still together, I think.
They're still together. Yeah.
She's like 30 years younger than him or something.
I think so, probably.
And he looked like a thumb the other day on SNL.
He did. He sounds great.
Yeah, he did
And
sound great.
I think he's coming to Denver too, and I kind of want to see him.
He actually, you know what?
Definitely be the last time.
Here's what I liked about him the most of that 50th anniversary thing. He got up and gave his seat to Garrett Morris, who's stuck with a cane most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes a walker. He can't walk very well, and gave his seat to Garrett Morris. I thought that was nice. You don't see that from
cool.
the big celebrities doing nice things for each other. I like that. You know,
that's cool.
Call
He's a nice guy.
Give Garfunkel a call. Just hang out, have lunch, whatever.
Yeah. Where was the issue between the two of them? Was it?
No idea.
Was it? Yeah.
I have no idea. I know Garfunkel.
We haven't had a Simon and Garfunkel biopic or.
Yeah, they ought to do one. That would be great. Do it while they're still around. See if we can get their input.
Mm-hmm.
But like his Garfunkel's son is singing now, and there's like videos of those two doing duets and stuff. That's kind of cool.
He sounds great too. Yeah,
sounds like his dad. Well, anyway, here's your one news story.
Yeah.
TikTokers are dropping heavy objects on their own feet, in a viral trend, and they are, according to experts, risking lifetime of pain as a result.
Oh, I thought that was the challenge. Yo, it's your boy. Time for the risking your lifetime of pain challenge.
When I'm 62, I want to be stuck on a couch.
I'm really trying to. It wasn't intentional, but I'm kind of trying to channel that actor. Yo, what's up? It's your boy, right? That guy, that actor, yeah.
I can't think of who that is. Who is that?
Oh, it's the guy who was on The Flash for a while. He was on that. He's currently on Abbott Elementary. Who is that guy?
I know who you mean. Oh, yeah.
We're thinking about going across the street to get some sandwiches.
Yeah, I like that guy a lot.
That guy.
He so doesn't look like what he says.
No, I know what he sounds like, but he's somebody you totally want to hang out with, whatever that guy is.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd get lunch with that guy in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Sure.
Well,
anyway,
a podiatrist has said TikTok users are risking this lifetime of pain and disability by copying a viral trend to drop big objects, including air fryers and toasters, on their feet. Why air fryers? That's weird. Go find a.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Go find a brick like we had to do when we were kids. Go outside.
Air fryers.
That's so weird, right? What a weird thing to choose.
It's a weird choice. Yes, it's a very weird choice.
Says there's been a bunch of these heavy objects. They include vacuum cleaners, glass jug, wooden table, all on their feet to see how painful they are, and then they rate them. I've seen a couple of these. Dropping things on my foot is the hashtag if you're interested in finding them. Anyway, this one dude, this guy named Luke Pilling, received more than 3.8 million views for a video that showed him jumping around in his room in pain after dropping a toaster, air fryer, and computer monitor on his lowest extremity, being his feet. Asked why he decided to join the trend, the 19-year-old sales advisor told PA News Agency, quote, "Curiosity and just because it was funny." Oh, was it? Yeah. Was it funny?
I think IQ might be his lowest extremity.
Yeah. It's nice and low, the number and the position, all that.
Yeah.
He says, "I love making content and I just like laughing at myself." Ha ha, he says. Dr. Benjamin Bullen, lecturer in pediatric medicine at the University of Galway. Hey, Claire. Look at that.
Look at that. And correct pronunciation of Galway.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Even though this is heraldscotland.com, so it's a Scottish thing. But yeah.
You don't want the 30-second recording from Claire where she's like, "It's pronounced Galway. Galway. Yeah, so it's pronounced Galway. Okay, so now you know how it's pronounced. It's pronounced Galway, and that's all. Okay, bye.
Probably you'll end up getting one.
Yeah, I think I will now. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, maybe nobody do that. Maybe don't drop big heavy shit on yourself. Okay, that's all. We're not here to judge you. We're not here to tell you how to live your lives. But I'm going to just give you advice, and that is, don't drop heavy shit on yourself. That's it.
Yes, exactly. It should be obvious. It should be something that we don't. We're talking to TikTokers. It's not. There's no.
No, and none of you are listening to this. So why would
logic doesn't happen here?
No, this choir knows. We're preaching to it. All right. We're going to take a break, though. When we get back, my sister Wendi will be here. We have an email we've been holding a couple of weeks because of how busy things have been, and we're going to finally tackle it. It's a bit of a sad one, but I think she's got some good advice. So stick around for that. Do not think sadness means badness. Okay. Don't. Right. I know the world's full of sadness and badness. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. But today we'll have a positive approach to a difficult subject. That's all. Brian, we should play a song, though, so we're all ready for it.
Sure. Well, Monica might like this one because this is a New Jersey power trio called Cathedral Ceilings. They are they're going on tour, and they're going to be performing at South by Southwest. Their brand new album, which is called La 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 Whatever, just came out on Dromedary Records. That's One Hump record company. They are touring record sales, their tour record sales benefit the ACLU, and their fans. If you're a fan of the Ramones, the Marked Men, Tony Molina, and the Cloud Nothings, I think you're really going to like this band called Cathedral Ceilings. Here is the song Lesson Incomplete.
Well, my friends, the time has come to raise the roof and have some fun.
A prison is for punishing, not for picnicking.
Hold on, that's too quiet. Let me fix that. Hold on, everybody. Sorry. Fix it in post. And we're back, everybody. Tell me who that was one more time.
Sure, that is a band called Cathedral Ceilings. Their brand new song, Lesson Incomplete. Here's the deal. If you go see them in concert, you will get a code or a QR code or something at their show that takes you to a special Bandcamp page where you can basically pay what you want for their album, and all that money, whatever you pay, goes to the ACLU. So if you pay nothing, well, nothing goes to the ACLU from you. But if you pay $100, then all $100 goes to the ACLU. No percentage, no nothing. It's all proceeds from album sales during the tour go to the ACLU.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
If you support that organization, what better way to give to them and get some music out of it?
For sure. ACLU, Civil Liberties Union, Claire.
Yes. Here,
American Civil Liberties.
I would argue right now they're probably more important than ever.
Association?
They're being union? I don't know. I don't know what that is.
It is, American Civil Liberties Union.
Union.
I wasn't sure about I wasn't sure if it was Association Civil Liberties Union.
Oh,
having association and union would be redundant. So yes, American Civil Liberties Union.
There you have it. Now this.
Psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Purely psychosomatic. That boy needs therapy. Lie down on the couch.
Lie down on the couch. It's Wendi, my sister, joining us as she does most Thursdays to talk about your mental health. Wendi, welcome back to Therapy Thursday. How are you? Yeah, that's good. Hey, been a fun couple weeks with Mom's deal, right? We've been having a blast.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
it's not true.
Big old
terrible.
Big Terminator rod in her femur.
I know.
Yeah, grumpy old man next to her the whole time.
I know.
The girls there.
Oh, no.
I can tell you what though, the nurse ladies are super good. They're really nice, and so far, I mean, I don't know if Misha's passed any of that on to you or not, but so far they just seem very caring, very kind people. And my mom likes them, and John knows all their names, so, even he's charming them a little bit. So that's how that is. Anyway.
Yeah. Good.
As a check,
good and terrible.
Yeah, and a good checkup just to let everybody know my mom is doing okay. Yesterday was a lot of pain, so that was hard, and Kim was down there with Misha at the time, and we're helping her, and they're doing a lot of nice stuff for her. Like, I mean, look, when I'm wherever I'm at 86, if someone will come and rub my feet and comb my hair, whatever's left of it, that kind of thing, that sounds nice. Simple pleasures, simple little things, bring me a taco.
Right.
I'm telling my kids now what I want when I'm 86.
Yeah, make a list so they'll know.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, I want you to rub my gross feet. And they'll be like, oh, okay.
Yep.
They'll have to prep for that.
Grody. Anyway, Wendi, it's good to have you here. Ahead of my colonoscopy on Monday, I'll be thinking of you. Not really. I'm just...
Oh, you should think of me.
I don't know why I said
love
that.
colonoscopies. They're the best.
They're a good time. Have you had one ever yet?
They are.
I have, yeah.
Yeah?
The actual colonoscopy is the best nap I've ever had, but it's the lead up. But it's the lead up is the not fun part.
Yeah, I hate it.
And the ibuprofen, or I forget the thing they use, but you wake up refreshed rather than like murderous or groggy, which is like, that's magic. That drug is magic. So get your colonoscopy now so you can have your best nap of your life.
That's right. And then you'll be farting like a monster all the way home. It's going to be great.
You might finally understand some of our jokes.
Yeah. You'll know why that guy on Twitter lied. All right. Hey, Wendi, it's good to have you here. We're going to get right into it. We've had this email we've been holding for a while. Before I play it or read it, though, I want you to hear this. Okay, this is a call we got. Apologies for the little pop noises in it. This is before we fixed a problem with the voice line. But anyway, this was for you or about you or a question for you. Here you go.
Hey, Squall and Breeze. This is Blue Crucial. I was just wondering for Therapy Thursday if you can ask Wendi, when Scott says that's Wendi with an I, is the I the second letter or the fifth letter? Just want to clear that up.
All right. You want to answer it?
That is a brilliant question.
Or the first letter. Or the...
Yes.
All letters.
What if it was both?
Yeah.
No, it is the fifth letter. Yeah.
Yeah, the end of it.
Wendi, or as my math teacher called me, Wendi.
Oh.
Really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For a whole year. Wendi. Raise your hand. I'm like,
fantastic.
Did he do that?
Student to then raise their
Did
hand.
he do that just because he was annoyed that your name was spelled different than most Wendys, or what was his?
I just think now that I'm an adult and now that I've interacted with many math teachers, I think you're a 9th grade algebra teacher. You're just trying to find joy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
So that's what I think it is. I think at the time, and I thought it was funny. Like, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have picked on me if I broke into tears or something, but it was like, Wendi. And now, I mean, I'll answer to it. It's weird. It's like stuck in there.
Oh, well, good job.
It seems so funny. Wendi.
Get up here. Solve this equation.
Wendiggy. Yeah. So are you, but it's still a stripper name. That's the important part is we're trying
I mean, a really bad stripper. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like do you know any Wendy's? I was talking to a friend today about, when someone drives a Tesla,
yes,
you're like, okay, when did you get it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
If you got it last week, now I'm mad at you, right? But like if you got it 5 years ago or you've been waiting in line, it's one thing, right?
Yeah,
anyway,
people have been putting stickers on their Teslas that say, I bought this before Elon went crazy. Like there's stickers you can buy. Yeah.
Now, here's the bad part of that.
They need to.
I know a guy who got one who loves Musk, who loves this entire mess.
And bought the sticker even though he did
Still buying stickers that say, I bought it before I knew he was a Nazi. Or another one on there says, like Elon, but with like a line through it or things like that. And I'm like, oh, great. Now you're just wearing the costume to protect your truck, but you really are way into this bullshit.
Oh yeah, because that truck is gonna get attacked. I know the nicest, most calm human who recently defaced a Tesla with some sunscreen.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, I was like, I think you need to call your therapist. You're not okay. Anyway, but my point into saying this is, I was talking to a friend about this, and she said, "How about we think about it like this?" Because her name's Karen, and she's like, if I have to think about, does everyone just assume I'm all the things you would say about a Karen because that name has been taken to mean this?
I always feel bad for Karens.
So she's like, I have some empathy for that. But if I named my baby Karen tomorrow, then I am fully aware. So there's the difference.
Yeah.
But no one names. I mean, when's the last time you met a Wendy?
Or an Adolf. No one names anybody Adolf.
Yeah.
No. Not that that's the same as Wendy, but yeah. Exactly. Well, all right.
Wendy's stopped. You got to be 40 up to be a Wendy. So if anyone's a young Wendy, please, I'd love to meet you.
Yeah. And send Wendy a stripper pole. Get it installed. We're ready to go.
And there will never be a Karen. If you meet a Karen in 10 years, like what happened?
Yeah. What do we actually do there? I noticed a lot of kids are getting old people names lately, like a lot of Josephs. What did I see? Some kid the other day was like,
do we ever see a return of the Elaine? Like, I know Seinfeld,
Elaine.
People bring in TV shows or bring in names to get popularity because of popular TV shows, but Elaine never seemed to make a comeback. We don't see little babies named Elaine.
Yeah, you don't see that one a lot. I feel like like we just had a kid named Jones. Yeah, Morgan's new little boy's name is Jones.
Jones.
Oh, that's a good.
So cute.
Jones, and then the other boy.
First name Jones.
His brother is Miller, so they're like last name.
And Morgan and Marshall, they all have last names and first names.
Yeah, they're so great. They're doing real good too.
They're
anyway,
so cute. And you could name that kid like Poop on a Stick, and he'd still be so cute.
Oh, he's the cutest kid you've ever seen. He has this perfectly straight bowl haircut thing that she gives him. He's just a little bobblehead. He's a wonderful little kid. All right, well, let's get to this email. Like I said, been holding this for a couple of days. Here's what it is. On February 9th, my best friend and hetero life mate died of a severe heart attack at age 51. I have been working with his uncle to ensure that his wishes and estate are taken care of. I have lost all drive and joy. My wife and friends have been very helpful and caring. I just can't seem to come to terms with it. We were friends for over 40 years. He was in my wedding, present at the births of my children. We shared tears, happiness, and loss of a mother and his grandmother. I feel so lost and devoid of joy. How do I get ahead of this and move forward? It takes all of my energy just to keep going to work. I can't sleep I can't sleep well, and though I am exhausted, my dreams only make me feel more sad, says a person we will call M. Severe loss of someone that close to you. Sudden, other than, our dad passed away early in life. That was, I don't think I've ever quite fully dealt with it, but it's the only thing I can really compare it to. I've yet to have somebody who's like, there all the time, my age. You know how your parents are always like, always checking those obituaries, seeing who's died today. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that. And then I realize, yeah, you are. You're going to do that.
Yeah, you are because they're your age.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough. I'm gonna, first of all, our condolences. Like, this is
For
so
sure.
hard. And 51 is a very young. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that is, this is a person who's witnessed your whole life, and that's really why, it's difficult to lose anybody, but to lose someone who is like, they're the same, like, it's lockstep for your life, right? It's the witness, and that is really, really extra hard. And I'm going to make some assumptions based on things here that mean you have been taught about grief in maybe a not so helpful way.
Okay.
So let's actually just talk about that for a minute generally, and then we'll apply it to the things. But he said, how do I get ahead of it? Okay. So that's where I get my first clue from. So if we think about how grief is modeled, because usually it's not like we all sat down through a grief class, right? But how is it modeled? What is the sort of norm of both your sort of family culture plus your extended culture? And then whatever that model was, I'm going to tell you it's insufficient. Maybe there's a few cultures that have done it right, or individual families that have done it right, but for the most part, it's probably insufficient. Because this was less than a month ago. Like, you should barely be getting out of bed with this big of a loss.
Yeah.
That is actually a normal, healthy response. But everything you read in this thing, it's like, I'm supposed to be functional by now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
My first impression with this
supposed
was
to be of anything, right? Like, it's everybody's going to be different.
Yeah.
but
So,
life,
right.
but life. See, this is the first impression I had. Brian's absolutely right. Of course, Wendy's right. It's just that life around you doesn't. Maybe I'm just talking about where you are. So your culture doesn't allow for you to have the breathing room you need, or at least it doesn't feel like it. Like, your boss doesn't really care. Some do. But a lot of them are just like, okay, great. Need a couple days. Better hurry up though, because we got that deal coming Friday. You know what I mean? Like, they're focused on let's keep moving. It's not their friend who died. So it always does feel when you're going through stuff. And I admit I do this too. I put this on myself because no one's actually doing it to me. But when Mom had her accident, I was overwhelmed with like, we need to help Mom, but also, what about all the other stuff? I can't leave this hanging. I can't leave that hanging. Like, we don't give ourselves much room in our competitive, always trying to, hit the pavement society that we live in.
Right.
So,
Well,
anyway.
so let's talk about, often we look at the past and we think we either idealize something too much and it's not real, or we think it was so terrible. Like, oh, they didn't even have toothbrushes in the 80s. And it's because you weren't there and you're wrong usually, because it seems so old timey and the film footage is bad. But humans are pretty similar throughout a lot of things. And one thing we have absolutely downgraded as people is the space and understanding and time to grieve. So think about just historically, you would wear black for a while, right? So you were in mourning. People knew that. So notice this idea of the world just keeps going. And you get a little time off, and then you're supposed to go back and act normal. Whereas maybe in another era or another culture, it is known. And so we're going to treat you differently. I remember reading about the king of some smaller Pacific island. I forget which one it was, died. And the island was in mourning for 1 year. And that included so many things that you were like, wait, what? And it's because it's hard to fathom in a capitalist situation where you're going to run out of healthcare if you don't keep going. Like, you're under threat at all times to never stop. It's not like it's a luxury for some people, but then everyone's trained not to, right? And it's not built in. There isn't I think some companies might have gotten slightly better at offering bereavement time, but it's usually like, take your PTO. Or whatever, right? People aren't all monsters, but the nature of the system is that there is no stopping. But grief is absolutely requires it. And whether you have it or not, it will take the toll that it requires to be taken. And this is a big one. This isn't now, it doesn't matter who it is you lose. It matters what they mean to you, right? So I would put dogs in this category. There are people who, someone else would be like, "Well, come on, it's just a dog." No, you couldn't be more wrong, right?
It might even be worse in some cases because
absolutely
they relied on you so much and became such a part of your life. You were their person.
And that dog never once was mean to you. So that is really hard to lose that kind of love. And so whatever the connection is to you, it's relative to that grief. But then take your modeling. Okay, so let's just articulate maybe the modeling. I'm making this up. Obviously, I don't know the answer to this, but I would wonder what was shown to you as a child when your grandparents died, or what was a pet dying? What were your experiences? What did you learn about what you should feel or not feel, or how long it should take, or what you should be doing? And so when you go into some of that with somebody, you find out that there has maybe never been permission to be sad at all, right? So we're talking a very fundamental human emotion had been boxed in a small space and not really allowed. And then here comes the biggest grief of your life, right? It sounds like his mother has already passed.
Yeah,
And so
is it his mother, or was he talking about his friend's mother?
His mother and his friend's grandmother.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, right? And so they shared tears, which means he has somebody who he could cry with through all of this, right? So not only maybe are you only allowed to be sad in certain contexts and with certain people, the one person you felt safe to do that with is now gone. So probably the person you would want to call to grieve about your friend is the friend who's gone. So that you've lost your person.
I didn't even think about that. Like, if that's the person that you are always grieving, or that's where you find all of your solace, and they're not there, that's freaking rough, man. I didn't think about that.
Right. Which I'm on the history kick, so just forgive me. But I think of like the spiritualist, seances and how big that all was at certain times. And you can look at human history that way. Like, what are the counterbalances to having no answers, right? This is an example of something that has no answer. And your religious beliefs might give you some answers that feel really comforting or really good for you, all the way to you don't have any belief in anything. And that can still feel comforting. Honestly, there are people, I've plenty of people who believe there's nothing, and that actually brings them comfort. And so you're all over the map with that. But historically, like, you take times where disease was rampant in a certain area and you have more, you look at the ratio to more seances, right? Because loss, grief, my person, all I want to do is talk to them again, right? So you think how susceptible you are to someone, messing with you when, and not to say people can't actually talk to the dead. I don't know. I'm open to all of it. Just show me your double-blind study.
Yeah, give me your evidence. Give me something.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I have no problem with it. Other than I do know people are more vulnerable and more willing to succumb to something because they are so desperate for the voice of that loved one or to get their advice. And I know, Scott, you probably have done this in your life, but I've thought, man, if I could talk to Dad about this. Oh, I would love to talk to him about this.
I would too.
I wonder what he thought.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Some of it is as you age, you're like, what did he think about his 40s? Let's talk about our 40s, or just those things. And this is someone who's peer throughout every step of the rest of his life. He's going to have to do it without this person. And maybe, it's going to be really, really difficult. This is so fresh. And, I know on the show we've talked about stages of grief and that there's these, they're not linear, right? You can have, the depression part. You can then have the anger. You can have the bargaining. You can feel some acceptance. You can go back and forth. It is not linear. It was never meant to be taught that way. It's just what we observed as people were themselves dying. That is actually what the stages of grief are about, not the mourning stages. It's the people who die stages of accepting their death. That's the original work. And we have extrapolated from that. And, because we experienced that, we'll experience the anger that our friend had to be taken from us. We will experience the bargaining of like what I wouldn't give or do to have him back, trying to fix something like the thing, it's futile. You cannot bring someone back. And then you move into depression and, you're going to be all over the map for a while. And what I have found is just, it's typically a year to the date. You need every holiday, you need every anniversary, you need to go through all of those things freshly mourning. and it's hard, and no one would ever sign up for that, right? And yet it is what is required. And so I say that, and makes it sound like it's so difficult and devastating and hard, and it is. But this is why we have figured out as human beings in each era, whether it's we're all loudly mourning together and laying on the coffin and, burning incense and creating a shrine in a room, or having, seeing an open casket so we can see the person for one last time. We have a lot of things we do to try to push forward some of the grief, rather than having it be stuck. And I don't know if anyone's consciously thought that until recent years, but a lot of people get stuck. And that's the concern, is when you push too fast and you don't, sorry, I'm going to let the dog out. You can all hear that.
Finally, the question gets answered.
Finally, that's
Wendi.
the dog.
Wendi is the answer.
And so you think about, like, what can you actually, what can you do? It isn't, you cannot speed anything up. I wish you can move forward and towards healing and all of that, but you cannot skip what you need to do.
So that stuff's coming for you whether you want it or not, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it is.
You can't avoid
And
it.
think about your best practices in grief is to find the people you can talk to about it anytime. So that might be, you have to go to a group, right? You go to a grief support group, and that's what we do there, is we just talk about it. Or you find the friend, or you find the spouse, or the, whoever is just happy to let you talk about it at any point. That is incredibly powerful. So I think we talked about this. Oh man, it's been 2 years. My friend's son passed away. And whenever we're all together, we just spend as much time talking about him as possible. So you have, there's 10 of us. We all went on a trip recently. Everyone takes their turn pulling her aside and saying, tell me more about Max. Tell me, what do you miss? What do you love? Does there stuff that still makes you laugh? Like, just 100%, it is all safe at any time to talk about your kid. And that is not true in a lot of situations, right? They're like, someone gets too sad so they can't handle it. Someone is like, their timing or their training about grief is like, time to move on. And if you've never lost a child, you will never get it. But if you have a child, you might have a sense of what that might be, but maybe you don't know what the person needs. And, I've talked to her, and she says there are people who have just disappeared out of her life because it overwhelms them so much. So we all have our different levels of comfort and training and what we can tolerate and what we are taught we could feel, and others are taught they cannot feel. So we're all over the map. So that's really what I would recommend, is to know that this is so fresh, and this is going to be really hard for a whole nother year. And what you need to do to survive that, and actually, you'll never be the same. That's just true. And coming to accept that can be really powerful, but you don't usually come to accept that unless you're talking it through, unless you have safe space to be mad, to feel it, to cry whenever you want, And so if everyone in his life it's hard for them to do that, you might want to work with strangers, because strangers are ready and willing and able, because they're in the same boat. There's also a lot of like writing and crying and walking and finding somewhere you can put some of this energy into for processing purposes, because you got to get through a really hard year, and you really can't do it alone.
Yeah, more. Not that this person. He feels like he doesn't have a backup. That's part of the problem, right? But
right. He says, he's married. He's got a wife, and she obviously, our friends and our relationships sometimes serve different purposes. Our partners, our spouses, things like that. Hopefully, she seems. He says that she's been very helpful and caring since the situation happened. So lean on her during this. And
he describes 2 or 3 things that are the concerns that he's looking at being stuck, and that is
them getting up in the morning.
Sleep is rough, devoid of joy, feeling lost. Like, these are normal components to grief. They can be elongated if we are not actually allowing ourselves to actively grieve, to spend the time to cry. And so I often recommend that people set aside a time to feel the feeling, because if it's up to us and we like our mood or what we want to do, rarely are we all like, you know what I want to do? I want to go to a funeral today and get it all out. And that's actually what is required. So if you think of the point of any funeral, it's a safe place. We're all processing, we're eulogizing, we're talking about the joy, we're talking about what we miss. All of that happens in a funeral. There's ritual to it. There's a process to it. And I just have clients recreate a mini version of the concepts of a funeral. So there is maybe light a candle, play some music, feel your feelings, write it out, scream it out.
Tell a story about, your favorite story.
Tell a story, eulogize it, write it, talk to somebody else, find someone who is equally missing him and just have lunch and talk about it. So rather than I'm supposed to go to work every day, because guess what? You're not. That is not what anyone should be doing, but we don't have a choice, right? So instead of hoping it goes quicker or, that natural tendency, totally understand, is going to cause more suffering than is necessary. It needs to be almost like, can you imagine someone sort of like, I'm wearing black, and when I'm done wearing black, then I'm okay. Right? Like, then they'd be like, oh, you're not okay for 6 months. You're not okay for a year. That would be more honest, right?
It's like going to the funeral expecting that it's going to be closure. And it's really, it's not like your feelings are going to stop. Exactly. Right. Yeah. It's just kind of like the spigot of like, all right, let's, here's a place to focus those emotions, but they're not going to stop at the end of the funeral.
Yes. And that's why, when you think someone's lost, their body's not recovered, and that you do a wake or you do something that can feel like, okay, something's still missing. So we need that piece or whatever. You can look at where grief can get stunted in the processes of grieving, because of influences outside of your control. But you have no control anyway, right? This person was taken from you suddenly with no warning, and it is so difficult. And there's that kind of death. And then we have the friend who suffers for 4 years with debilitating disease and ends up dying. And you get some benefits from that because you can say everything you want to say, hopefully. And then in others, you don't. So what do you do? So often I'll take a client who's had a sudden death and didn't remember their last conversation or doesn't know if they said all the things they wanted to say. And they need to say them. And you don't have to go to a seance for that or think that person hears you. If you do believe that, great. If you feel like that's your spiritual life and practice and they will know these things, awesome. If you don't, there are other ways that are like, write it all out, mail it to the void, burn it, whatever. Like creating ways to practice the process of a thing that would be stuck and taken away, right? So, for example, with my friend's son, we bought a bunch of these pine trees that are going to grow for 100 years. And those were planted, nearest to where they live. So they have living things that they go to rather than he doesn't have a grave because they live somewhere he didn't really like where they were living. So she's like, he'd be so mad if I buried him here. So they're in Wyoming or somewhere. Anyway, and so they have his ashes, and some of the ashes are by these, buried with these trees. And that feels like this honoring growth thing. There's so many versions of this, right? You can purchase a tree in another place that needs reforesting and, dedicate it in someone's name or dedicate a star to someone. Like we have a lot of these mechanisms sort of built in because people need more than we had a funeral and I have to go back to work on Monday. It's not a way to honor, not enough to honor the person and to honor ourselves as we really have, it's like having a limb removed. That's how close someone can be to you. And then you're supposed to just go live in your life. I remember after Dad died, I was in my car and I looked over and it was, it was one of Dad's probably homemade car situations. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And there was duct tape on like the door. And I remember just being like sobbing and like duct tape, and no one else is going to look at duct tape and cry. Right. But just also at the same moment, looking around at all these cars around me, that they're just living their lives. and you feel like you are being just left behind. Like, how is anyone not frozen? Because you're frozen. And so it can be really lonely that they're just doing things like, oh, we're going on vacation. Don't look at Facebook ever again. That's just my advice for everyone. But if that, like, don't watch everyone's normal life go by and torture yourself that way. That isn't where you should be, right? If we set you in a room with everyone grieving their bestest friend, you would see that you're probably doing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And that you're more functioning than you really should be. And this isn't a race. It's not something to win, not something to be good at. But if your family training or cultural training is boys don't cry and you should be moved on by now, then you cannot trust that same system to help you with this. You've got to do some other things, and you probably need some support.
That brings up a quick, I don't know if it's something we can do quickly or not, but the issue of culturally anyway, men tend to be worse at this. On the aggregate, right? Obviously it's not everybody, but it's enough that you can see a difference. Does that, in this case where we know we're dealing with someone who is, he's in that boat, is there anything particular that he can do that will pull him away from that part of the drag? You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's a really great question. In fact, there's some research on that boys and girls there is no difference in their ability to empathize or feel their emotions or whatever. They're just trained really early not to. So it isn't like we're built different. We're all human. It's that the socialization is so intense. There is a slight difference because estrogen tends to, you give a man more estrogen and they tend to care more about what people are feeling. And testosterone is a little less so. And so there is that component there is some slight thing, but really there is a lot of training that goes into don't feel your feelings, boys don't cry, all that stuff, right?
Is it one of those things where like testosterone is like the flame that lights the wick of the lights the match, but then we run with it too far? Like you know what I'm saying? Like we can say
light the forest on fire.
But there are biological aspects to everything, really. Right. But it's on us as a society not to then go, well, you were born with slightly more aggression, therefore you should be aggressive. That's the man. You know what I mean? Like,
this is what you're supposed to be.
Why do we do that? Why do we do that?
I think that's way too nuanced or way too advanced. I think there is a generation of dads who were taught by their dad because society was going to eat them alive if they seemed to care for like a little doll or they wanted to wear something that didn't look like, some of it is the socialization for protection's sake, right? Mm-hmm. This is what we do. And when you're never allowed your feelings and then a kid comes along and is having feelings, you are not equipped, right? That can be really terrifying. And that level of transitioning out of that it's happened. There's much improvement. People have realized they maybe should have access to feelings. Notice any sort of trolling. It is so obvious to me. Oh my gosh. When any kind of trolling is calling someone emotional, it's like, oh, I get it. That shame worked for you. Right. And that is a powerful indication when someone only has access to anger or only has access to like there's 3, you get a couple, like you're in trouble. So when I meet with men who have been raised in situations where it's sort of a perpetual, here's the small box for your feelings. It's a journey to open that up because it's so scary and so vulnerable. So if you say, how can he sort of work with that? I would say find a group of men who are grieving, who are not afraid to cry would be a really powerful one because modeling really matters. When you see that it's okay and that it's welcomed, it's incredibly, it's a game changer, right? Because before it would be like, well, I'll give you a Snuggie and throw you in a locker and make fun of you. Who's ever going to be like, I'm going to have my feelings in front of these people? It is not safe to do so. Yeah. And so that's really the difference is that he may not have it, but he can access it. It just may not be with the certain people that are behaving differently. And really like children, speaking of children just grieving for a moment, like that is a really sort of special case because kids don't know how to process quite the same. Adults aren't good at it, let's be clear. But kids also only have the model that they have, and they're so young when this kind of break happens in their life. They need a special attention.
And they're looking to see what other people do to like you say, modeling after other people. But
yes,
instead
and
of just saying,
if they're watching their parents grieve potentially, or one parent grieve, and they can't really meet the needs of a kid. So there's some awesome resources around. If you're in Salt Lake, it's called the Sharing Place. It's fantastic. And it's often for kids who are affected by suicide death, and because it is so much more complicated and they really need that safe space to speak and talk. So I would check with just around. I would just Google like where you live, what are some grieving resources. Any book written by David Kessler, Kessler, on grief is fantastic. He's like the guru in the mental health world for grief. And so there are plenty of good resources that you can access, but just know you do not get ahead of any of this. You can just get numb, or you can, white knuckle it through a year and you'll feel slightly better. But I really recommend that you lean into the grief, and you will learn to live with this gap in your life. It will be a hole forever. And that is because you love so much and we're so connected, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's really hard to be that vulnerable and have that much pain. But there is a healthier way to do it if you can. And it's back and forth and up and down. That's probably the most helpful thing sometimes people find out is like, it is not just moving forward. That's not what this is. This is different than other things. It's not about progress or not feeling. It is actually about feeling and processing. And some days are terrible days and some days are better days. And better days might make you feel guilty. And, we're just a lot of feelings. And so most of us are not very equipped or trained or helped in this. And it can be tricky.
Well, one quick tiny side note. If you're out there and you've ever heard, or if you haven't heard Billy Bob Thornton talk about the death of his younger brother, and I realize this is, we don't have to have everything come from a celebrity to, make change in our life. But he has this great quotation. You can find it on YouTube. Just search for Billy Bob Thornton brother or something. And he talks about dealing with the grief of his brother. And it's wildly in line with what Wendy's saying today. Just this thing of like, that hole is always there. Don't pretend it isn't. And in fact, you can find joy in finding that that's a melancholy that you'll always have with you. And you feeling sad in there is actually a tribute to the person who's lost, not a negative thing. It's really, really well said. And it basically surmises what you've been saying too. But
just the other day I saw, speaking of celebrities, and one I do not follow even at all, but Pink lost her dad. And somebody wrote her a grief song, and it is beautiful. And she's just like, I could never have written it, and I could barely get it out. And it's really powerful. So sometimes, looking around and realizing you really are not alone. Every one of us will have to grieve at some point. It's kind of like, it's a skill. I want to rewrite the curriculum for high school, and it would have financial classes and grief classes. Those are my two main ones. But
laundry, ironing,
so many.
Yeah, domestic stuff for sure.
Yeah,
we could all
and
use
just
it.
How to, I don't know. Sometimes
balance
it just
a check.
feels.
Well, you just don't have to balance a checkbook these days. But yeah, like you're saying, the financial.
Your Gen X is really showing.
Using a rotary phone.
How to use a typewriter that needs whiteout.
Right.
Yeah. No, but it's a good point, though. Like, still, the financial training in our schools is terrible. It's so bad. Yeah. It was bad when we were kids. It's worse now. You ask any of my kids, they're like, they didn't teach us anything. It's like, we didn't know how to do anything. So, I don't know. It's weird.
It's wild. But grief feels like one that I'd have to, really do some lobbying to be like, you guys, this is important. They're like, no, it's not. No, it really, truly is, really important.
Yeah. Well, I hope this helps. I think it should and will be helpful to him. Let us know how things go for you. We always like to keep in touch with people who have their questions, or if they have any follow-ups, do let us know. Wendi, always good to talk to you. Morebetteryou.com. No, wait.
No better you.
No better you. Why did I say more better?
Name.
Sorry, I keep saying more. You know why? Because I'm thinking
you would be better to know.
You'd be so much better if you know.
I keep thinking of Mo Bettas, which is like this
Mo Betta Blues. Please follow Wendi at Mo Betta Blues.
The Mo Bettas here is like a Polynesian food. Like it's so good. But I always think of it when I think of your website.
Yeah, I'm glad I've made that association. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No better you with a KNOW.
Yep.
And you.
The letter U.
Is the letter U.
Yep.
With Wendi.
Yeah, Wendi Dunefard and Dunefart, and you can go check it out now.
I is silent. Yep.
Go check it up. Sign up because you get a lot of cool free stuff when things open up again for new groups and that kind of thing. You'll be the first to know that kind of stuff. So go check it out.
Please do.
It's good stuff. Wendi, have a fantastic week. We'll see you soon.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye.
I might see her sooner than I think. Oh, they've changed the. It was a big Discord change. Got some button changes here. Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just threw me.
More better Discord buttons.
Mode better Discord. All right, that is going to do it for today's programming. Quick reminder, we have a bunch of shows coming up, and I will rip through them real quick here. Coverville today, as Brian said, 12 noon. Do check that
Missing
out.
Persons and the New Bohemians.
That's right. Get in there, get that done. Also at noon for the video game inclined, there will be a brand new episode of Core today. That will start at noon and probably end at 10 p.m.
5. Yeah, right. Exactly. 10, 11, 12.
They go pretty late, but we'd love to see you there live for that. If you are not musically inclined, come play video games.
You should just call it the Coreathon is what you should call it.
It's pretty much what it is. So. TMS Friday will happen tomorrow. That is all locked in and ready to rock. There'll be some fun, some games. Movie review? You going to go see something?
Got a movie review for you tomorrow. What will it be?
Nice. I'm excited.
And some trivia. Yeah.
Yeah. And tomorrow I launch this new podcast with Miles, me and Miles, just talking about, no, that was never happening.
Rolling joints and eating hot dogs with Scott and Miles.
I mean, you could really do a show with one of these voices and it would probably work pretty well, you know?
You could probably just set them on their own and let them go.
Well, that's the thing I was telling Tom yesterday. I want to see, and someone's probably already done this because they always do this when these things come out. You like have a Google Home and a Echo
and a
arguing
Siri
or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this case, have two browsers and have Area or whatever her name is, and Miles going at it. Because I feel like eventually they get to like a singularity moment or something, and then just start talking in tongues. Like I don't know what those things do when they.
There was somebody who had a video of an Echo device and an iPhone talking. And they had set timers or like set a reminder for this time called Hey SIRI. And in the on the iPhone they had an ALEXA reminder. So it would announce, it would say this, and then the other one would respond with it's a really funny video that goes on for quite a while. It kind of becomes who's on first a little bit.
Yeah, they just argue. At some point they say nonsense, I think. Which is one of the flaws. It's one of the flaws of generative AI. It's not good at end game. It's pretty good at the early and mid game, but end game comes around and it's like, what are we talking about? They start to actually realize that neither of them are real, and they get real esoteric. It's very freaky. So if somebody knows if anyone's done that with Maya and Miles, I would love to hear it. Anyway, that's it for that. Oh, also TMS Friday, we mentioned Play Retro later that day, 1:30 Mountain Time. Me and Brian Dunaway doing some more Play Retro. And then Film Sack this weekend, we are doing Inspector Gadget, whether you like it or not.
Oh my God, Scott. Can I tell you what there is a lot of in Inspector Gadget?
Tell me. Oh, did you already watch? He must have, yeah. I think I'll do it tonight if I can squeeze it.
Here's what there's a lot of in Inspector Gadget.
Oh, shit. Is there worse or better? Worse or better than hillbilly humor? Which do you prefer of those two things?
Worse. It is. It was painful. It was slapsticky and.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
Well, this was after
like people shaking their heads. Like the the flipping a plastic plate back and forth kind of noises and
I'm dreading that
mugging the camera and stuff.
Dreading it.
But one moment had me laughing out loud, and it was in the credits. So stick around, watch through the credits because there's some funny stuff.
It's like a stinger or bloopers or what is that back there?
Like a stinger, like a
Okay. Well, they waited. I think you waited till all the way at the end of the movie for you to get a real laugh out of it.
For the one laugh, yes. Yeah.
All right.
It is, I know. Rainbow Bright says, "Can I avoid it?" I don't want to because we're also doing it because of Michelle Trachtenberg, and it's a nice little tribute to her. But I wonder if Matthew Broderick feels as embarrassed for doing this movie as his wife should for doing Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was really bad follow-up.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Oh, he should feel. Also, didn't he? He killed a guy on the highway by accident or something, right?
He did during the filming of some movie, and we just kind of all forgot about that.
Was it this movie?
No, was it during Inspector Gadget? Oh my God,
I don't know. I know it was after Ferris Bueller's era. Maybe Biloxi Blues or something.
Yeah, let's see. 1987, accidentally killed 2 women in a car in Ireland.
So a year after Ferris.
Yep.
Or so.
Right
around
that.
Wow. Yeah.
His girlfriend at the time was Jennifer Grey. I didn't realize that the two of them were hooking up with your movie sister.
Yeah.
What?
Right? Ooh. Right. Yeah. Yeah, she's Ferris's sister. That doesn't work. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. And again, it kind of got brushed under the rug a little bit, right? Because you really didn't hear a whole lot about it. And I
feel like I found out years and years later. I think it got tamped down.
I didn't find out. I don't remember finding out about it until within the last year, within the last 12 months.
Oh, wow. That's even more recent. I remember
very recent.
I remember maybe 10 years ago, but I don't. But even then, it was kind of like, well, we don't, no one talks about it.
Right.
So I don't know what the circumstances
I was going to say, I'm sure, Claire, I'm sure you guys didn't forget. It was outside of Enniskillen. So,
jeez. So it was in Ireland. So that was
in Ireland, yeah.
Wow. What an awful, I don't know who to feel bad. I feel bad for the person who died.
Oh, for sure. It was 2 people, I think.
But was it an accident? I know some people are really mad at him.
Definitely an accident. And he wasn't, according to police, he wasn't driving fast.
Just screwed up.
They had to cut the side away from his car to give him first aid. They had to cut his car open.
Ferris's, sorry.
I got a correction,
Broderick's.
I think, from Claire on the pronunciation of Enniskillen. I'm sure it is.
Oh, good.
Yep, let's hear it.
All right. How's it sound?
Enniskillen, yes. I'm looking at really tiny type on a Ranker article, okay? It's really tiny text and I'm old.
Yeah.
It's Enniskillen. Thank you, Claire.
So, okay. Oh, well, yeah. So I don't know where it all landed on his culpability. Was it purely an accident? Was there some kind of other... I just never heard. But I know people are still mad at him about it, so I assume there was some wrongdoing, but I never really heard the details. I don't know.
Yeah. Matthew Broderick, Jennifer Grey in the car, driving in the rain, getting lost. They asked an off-duty policeman for directions. After listening to their tale, the officer informed that the route they were on was, quote, just stupid, and offered to lead them to a more sensible road. All kindness aside, Broderick wasn't interested in a change of plans, and the couple departed along their original route. The officer followed their car for a few miles and noted that Broderick wasn't going fast, quote. He estimated the car was moving less than 40 miles per hour. Yeah.
That's wild. I was wondering if it was like the Ted Kennedy thing where he bailed on it or whatever he did.
Oh God, no. He was kind of trapped in the car. He had to get it cut away to get first aid. And his main concern, they say, the police said, was for the people in the other car. He kept saying, "Did I hurt them? Did I hurt them?"
Mm.
Jennifer Grey just had a couple bruises and a new nose. And then
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah, how could I not?
How could you not? I knew.
After Broderick had been stabilized, he was eventually transferred to Belfast's Royal Victoria Hospital, where he stayed for about a month.
Jeez.
And he was charged with reckless driving, paid $4,075 in bail, and was allowed to return to the U.S. afterwards.
Damn. That must have been gnarly for everybody.
Yeah.
No fun. Well, all right then. On that happy note, we'll be watching Inspector Gadget.
Take that with your Inspector Gadget. My gosh.
That's right. Go. Sad story or whatever. Hey, that's it. Everything can be found at frogpants.com/TMS. And a reminder, our voicemail system looks like it has been fixed for all those little clicks and clatters. So you can go over to voicecast.app/TMS anytime. Send us your written, your voice, your whatever. Whatever you want to do, it's all there. Brian, let's get out of here. We got a song to play there at the end there?
Yeah, we got one going out to Brian Kickbush. He's on the in the Discord and chat as Tattooed Freak. TAT2DFREQ. He corrected me because I think because it was an FREQ, I thought it meant, tattooed frequently. Nope, just tattooed freak is what it is.
Oh, like you're a tattooed freak, not you have many tattoos and you must go a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to make it better, and you made it worse, Brian. He says March 6th is my 51st birthday. It's been a rough year, but now I'm enjoying a new job, and my beautiful wife is taking me somewhere on the 8th. Where? I'll find out when we print the tickets at the airport. What? That's so cool. What a great surprise, a surprise flight.
I love that.
He says, I'm thinking Vegas or Milwaukee. Vegas for gambling and shows, or Milwaukee for family and friends. I'll let you know. Please do. I can't wait to hear about it.
Well, let's give him a
That is the ideal surprise is pack a bag, we're going to the airport. But for Tina, it would be like, well, what kind of clothes do I need to take, Brian? Warm clothes, cold clothes, swimsuit.
I'm with Tina. It would drive me nuts. I hate the idea of that.
There's no way I could do it. I'd have to pack the bag for, and I know I would fail at that.
I'd love you to try, though, right?
Oh, you actually needed the medicine thing you take for, you needed, underwear, you actually need that?
Yeah, that'd be hard. Here's this for him, by the way.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. I hope that trip is great and that you didn't forget anything in the bag. I hope it all worked out for you.
Well, it's coming up in 2 days, so I can't wait to hear about it. Yeah. His request is for the song Come Undone by Duran Duran. Favorite band of mine, and yours as well, I'm sure. This was kind of their comeback, their second album called just plain Duran Duran, or also known as the Wedding Album. Come Undone, here covered by Bad Omens on their 2020 album, Finding God Before God Finds Me. Here is Bad Omens.
In the menu of life, make your main entree frogpants.com. It's delicious. Delicious.
Yuck.